All right, well, welcome to, I feel like all of our board meetings get labeled special board meeting, but this one's special because we shifted our time to 4:30. Typically, this is a 5:30 meeting. So we will get started with a call to order, and then on to roll call.
Okay, Mr. Bellman?
Here.
Mr. Hall?
Present.
Mrs. Lindemann?
Here.
Mr. Napier?
Here.
Mrs. Winger?
Here. Okay, and then I need a motion to adopt the agenda for our meeting.
Second.
Mrs. Winger? Yes. Mr. Bellman?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mrs. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Napier?
Yes.
Okay, and number 5 is public participation, unless Jordan's got something else. Oh, 4. Oh, hey, how about we approve those minutes first? Sorry, I was getting excited about number 5. Number 4, if I could have a motion for the approval of the special board meeting that we had on August 19th.
So moved. Second.
Yes. Mr. Napier?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Bellman?
Yes.
Mrs. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mrs. Winger? Yes.
Okay, now number 5 and on to number 6. We have no public participation night. So number 6, special accommodations. And I'll pass down the thank you notes here in a minute. I didn't get those down in front of you, but we'll get those out. So like we say every month, I don't know that there's been a meeting that there hasn't been something here, so which is amazing. We have some great things under this item this month. So Schaefer Driveline donated 8 custom-built workstations that are valued over $9,000 to the engineering lab. David Alley, who's the VP of Schaefer Driveline, donated the workstations, and I think the special part of that is that they were crafted by a Fredericktown alum, Gary Baker, who was class of '88, and this was all into support of the new engineering lab at the high school. So my understanding is, Mr. Alley also serves on our Project Lead the Way committee and has just donated, time over the years to programs that, support some future workforce. So that's great, amazing. And we'll be, I'm sure at some point, having some sort of celebration ribbon cutting where we can get to see all those and the awesome stuff. We also had a workbench, metal work table, and metal racking that was valued at $1,000, also donated from Schaefer Driveline for our bus garage. And so when you see those folks out and about, make sure to say thank you. School supplies, Clorox wipes, tissues to the elementary from FT Precision, valued at $200, and the American Legion Auxiliary Unit number 500, $1,600 towards school lunches. Nothing to blink at there. We just really continue to appreciate the generosity of so many in the district. So I will entertain a motion to approve the number 6 special accommodations.
So
Second.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mrs. Winger? Yes. Mr. Bellman?
Yes.
Mrs. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Napier?
Yes.
Okay, number 7, and then we'll move into 8. So 7 is treasurer's report, and then Heather's consent agenda.
I have 2 items on my agenda, the August financials and the insurance moratorium for the month of December. But for the month of August, expenditures did exceed revenue. Those were largely due to one-time expenditures and medical claims. The big one for the large expenditures was we paid $96,000 for the bus garage, and then the paving, what I believe it's called, Freight Highway. At least that's what I call it. It's $264,000. We had mead roofing of 19. We did replace the elementary kiln in the art room, and we purchased some curriculum, and then our electricity, our electric bill did go up, and when I was looking compared to last year at this time, it went up right around 3%. So even though our consortium is telling us that we're doing great with electricity costs, because electricity is going up, $17,000 for 1 month was kind of like an eye bulge for me. But looking looking back last year, it was up 3% from last year. The insurance moratorium, I am requesting a premium holiday or insurance moratorium for the month of December. This will save the district right around $193,000 for the month of December. And our insurance fund is currently at $3.5 million. And then I give you some financials for the food service. Food services being closely monitored. The fund itself, as you can see, is considerably low comparing to even last year at this time. And from 2023, we had $330,000 in not in food service, and as of this time last month, we're down to 154, so it's almost cut in half. So everything is being closely monitored, and we are even watching the overtime and the subs and everything, what is taking place. And we're I'm working with Kelly Stanford on even the purchasing the right commodities, but trying to get a better price for the food that we are purchasing. So that is being closely monitored. And that is all that I have.
Okay, I think I'll take a motion for approval and we can have discussion for the treasurer's consent agenda.
So, sorry.
Yep.
I have a question.
Okay.
The food service,
Yes.
are we seeing that, is that because of salaries, or is that more towards?
It's more of the salaries because the salaries did go up with this time with negotiations,
Right.
but also the cost of food as well. Yeah, cost of food compared to, I can give you that breakdown, I can send that to you, of what we've paid previously to what we're paying now. Since really COVID, we have seen a huge increase in the price of our commodities that we're purchasing.
I had, well, yeah, I mean, everything is going up.
Yeah,
So just so I understand.
yes,
I mean, that's the balance that's there.
yes,
That time period. Okay, like I said, finance, not my strong suit, so this, please forgive me.
no, you're fine.
I almost mean, I wouldn't get it, I mean, see, for me personally, because I wouldn't view, I don't look at food services as money.
It is not a money
It's not
maker.
money.
No.
So I just, I guess is my, that should not, so I appreciate you, looking over the items and everything like that. If I'm not reading correctly, reading what you're saying correctly.
My fear at this point is I do not want the general fund to have to subside the food service department. That's where my concern is getting to, is that if it gets too low, the general fund is going to have to transfer money into the service fund to keep them out of the red. Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
And then watching it closely also to decide if we're gonna ever go for some federal, like what's the program, just like me?
CEP.
Yeah, so probably watching it for that too, to see
Yes.
what threshold and if it makes sense for us to make a different.
Correct, and with some of the changes with CEP, the last that I heard, the week before last week, so 2 weeks ago, I was at a workshop and they were talking CEP. And before last year, 2025, school districts were funded CEP 100%. So no matter what, every kid gets a free lunch with CEP, but you are funded at 100% for CEP. Now they're making it that only the kids that qualify for free reduced lunch, that's the money that you're getting. You're not getting funded for every student. So the schools that were getting all of this money are no longer going to be getting all that money. They're only going to get the funds for the kids that actually qualify. So they got all these schools enrolled.
And that program's only been around, I mean, as long as I've been on the board, so that's not very long, less than 2 years.
Correct.
So, and also, just thinking also, you have quite a few kids taking CCP, you have quite a few kids. Understand?
Correct.
So you miss out on those.
Right.
So there's also some.
And I know there are some things that we could do differently in the food service area. And I have been talking with Teresa regarding that as well, about even menu changes, just updating the food service area in itself, so.
So according, sorry, the cash position report, it looks like we're projecting that it's already gonna be
In the red.
negative by the end of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's my fear.
I have a silly question, but it's
Yes.
just so I don't forget to ask.
Yeah.
Service, if I need Sharon, for a different organization, we got a check for an energy co-op roundup. So it sounds like people are able to, on their energy bill, round up, and then that they can select an organization.
Oh,
Is that anything that like you've ever seen come into the district? I just was curious if schools,
I never have.
this was a church that received the money, but it was like $1,600, which is a fair amount for a church.
Yeah, yeah, I have never seen that. no.
Okay, I just was curious. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, any other?
Yeah, I just had a question on the premium holiday.
Yes,
So you said that our self-insurance fund is currently at 3.5 million. Is that the recommended, is that where we're supposed to be according to that study that we have done every year?
we have actually a surplus in our,
That's over?
Yes.
Okay, that's over.
it's over the
Okay.
threshold.
Okay,
Yeah,
So we're good.
that's the reason we're able to do the premium holiday.
okay.
Yeah, we're actually eligible for 2, but I'm taking 1.
Because we don't know those increases yet.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? I think we're ready for,
Okay.
roll call.
Mr. Napier?
Yes.
Mr. Falk?
Yes.
Mr. Bowman?
Yes.
Mrs. Lindeman?
Yes.
Mrs. Winger?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So we are to 9 and 10, superintendent report, and then into Mr. Chapman's consent agenda.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Lindeman. Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon. I say that, but welcome. As far as superintendent's report, I have put a couple documents in front of you, also the most recent building newsletters, family newsletters from our principals, but also if I could call your attention to, just briefly, is the preliminary overall ratings from the state report card, would be this. Talks about right there, I provided the district, the high school, the middle school, and the elementary for your review. This does not go public until Monday, September 15th, so we'll hold on to this, but I just wanted to share that with you. It's hot off the presses. The value-added scores were uploaded yesterday in the secure data center, and that kicked in the overall report card out, so preliminary view there. The other one too that I put in front of you again would be the tentative 25-26 enrollment sheet. We've gone a little bit deeper there as far as the breakdown by classes per grade level and the numbers, but I know when we talked in August, we had a -6 from last year to this year. Right now, we're at -16 students, or down 16 students from last year or last May. As far as digging into that and where they are going, that's work yet that we have to do on those. But that is actually based upon the number of seniors that we graduated last year, about 103, I believe, with now a kindergarten class coming in at 76. So actually, maybe a net increase based on those 2 data points, if you will. Okay. So we just need to dig into this and get more information as far as when we start for each individual student there. Any questions on that one? continue to go after as far as them settling in here into the next month. As far as the other item I wanted to update you on too, and we've been talking about this a lot here, but the bus garage, we did receive an easement, draft of an easement with AEP late last week. I was hoping to present that to you for consideration to get that moving. I sent it off to legal and to get our legal attorneys to get their review of it. They kicked back some suggestions. It's now back to AEP for their review. I could have forced it in this evening, but I thought we need to do our due diligence and just make sure that we're covered there. So if we can get that moving, we'll bring that back to you next board meeting, get that approved. But that's what we need to get the substantial completion. Also, with the partial completion or the partial occupancy, we did have to have a fire inspection. We had that completed a week ago Friday. That is now, fire inspection, a few other documents are at the state level for the state inspector. I have not heard back from Fannie Howard yet as to that piece, but it is on the desk of the state inspector. I sure would like to hear by the end of this week. Regardless, Darian, and you saw there the donation there, the table, workbench from Schaefer. But Darian has been working hard. We're moving in, doing some painting as well, part of that construction process. So hopefully when we get all that together, and then also too waiting for the pavement as well. We have not heard as far as a start date for paving, but we're hoping now within the next 30 days we can get all this wrapped up. Again, I know hope is not a big plan, but that's my hope right now. So that's what we're working towards there with the bus garage. Any questions at all? That's what I have for you this evening.
That last 10% construction, it's always,
Wow.
feels like the first 90 sometimes.
It's been a little bit intense, so that's been that way. Okay, as far as superintendent's consent agenda, go through that here. Item A, if you look there, would be a motion to approve the 8th grade Washington DC trip for May 4, 5, and 6. So I know Mr. Brown's anxious to get that one going, to get that out there. So item B would be to approve the amended staffing agreement with the Mid-Ohio Educational Service Center. That would be for registered behavior therapists and behavior certified therapists as well. Item C would be an agreement with Mount Vernon City School Districts for services provided by the Seventh-day Adventist School for Title I services. This agreement is with Fredericktown and Mount Vernon City, as they are the fiscal agent for Seventh-day Adventist. We have an interagency agreement. This would be between Knox ESC and Services for Children with Disability from birth age through 5. Attending early childhood programs. This is also with the county schools as well. All county schools sign off on that one. We have a motion to approve the resolution to participate in authorized Meta Solutions to advertise and receive bids on the board's half for bus purchases. This does not obligate the district to purchase the buses. It just allows us to participate in that if we so desire. Item F is to pay Montana Hoover for professional development. Also, item G, you see we have several personnel recommendations for the 25-26 school year, from contract adjustments and to employ subs or substitute teachers. Item H is to approve classroom field trip volunteers for this school year, pending favorable background checks. And then also, item 11 is to be voted on separately, and that would also be for, to approve a volunteer, and Ruth Douglas, pending favorable background checks.
Okay. I think we will take
that agreement with the schools and the
We have 3 students that attend Seventh-day Adventist schools. Mount Vernon is SEA's fiscal agent, and because they are our students and we have to provide OT, PT, and speech, Title I funds are then transferred to Mount Vernon, but it's through an invoice, and that needs an agreement per OBE. So,
much red tape.
yes,
Yeah, okay. Now I got it. I was
Yeah.
a little confused on following.
Yep.
Here or there, or.
it's just movement of the shell game here.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Yeah.
Okay. Mrs. Winger?
Yes.
Mr. Folk?
Yes.
Mr. Bellman?
Yes.
Mrs. Lindeman?
Yes.
Mr. Napier?
Yes.
Okay, and then if I can have a motion on item, or number 11A.
Second.
Who seconded?
Nate, Paul and the Nate.
Okay. All right. Mr. Napier?
Yes.
Mr. Bellman?
Yes.
Mr. Folk?
Yes.
Mrs. Lindeman?
Yes.
Mrs. Winger?
Having all the male voices at one end and female at this end, it's like,
It can be.
it's, yeah. Okay, rolling into number 12, committee reports. I'll kick us off. I was actually scheduled to be down at the Career Center for their 4 o'clock meeting and had a meeting run over and missed that, so my apologies there, but I did not attend that meeting. They do have a meeting this Thursday that I will be at. And then FCDF, kind of the same. That meeting was canceled in August, and there's a meeting this coming Thursday. So I'll be doing all my committee work there in one day, this Thursday. So those are both my non-reports. Short and sweet. Yeah, on to you, Mr. Bowman.
Okay, mine is pretty short and sweet as well. Couple things, October 1st, Career Quest, we kind of covered that before, 8th graders and 10th graders. But I do want to compliment Mr. Shoemaker. He knocked it out of the park at the last work day meeting with his presentation, answering questions, covering everything about the manufacturing program. So unfortunately for him, that was probably the most people we've ever had in that room. So not only did he walk into a room he thought was going to have 20, 25, we probably had like 30 or 35 in there. So, but it was good. He covered everything. It was well received. A lot of people complimented him. So that was great to see. He did a great job. The next meeting is end of the month.
So I was gonna try to do it without my glasses. Okay. Next up, well, policy, I think you guys, that's September, right? Or have you not met yet?
We have not met yet. We meet the 15th, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Cruising through just what Mr. Folk is.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you for a great weekend.
Shoot,
It
buddy.
was my birthday this weekend, I got this.
So cute.
A lot of that stuff is stuff out of Sentinel Hospital. Sentinel.
96.
All the above, Bill. I'm sure you guys are anxiously waiting. No, it is good. That's a large function of the board's policy. So Shelley, Mrs. Wenger, on to you for legislation advocacy.
Right. Well, the legislators have been in recess, but are scheduled to return, I think, next week. Both chambers already have like several sessions scheduled between now and the end of the year. One of the items that's up for consideration in the Senate is the veto override of House Bill 96, line item 66. So you'll remember that that's the line item that the House has already overridden. So now the Senate will have to do the same. They've indicated that they have the votes to do that, so I think they're expecting that that's gonna happen. But we'll It's House Bill 420, which would eliminate continuing levies by year 2030. House Bill 421, which would allow voters to reduce unvoted property taxes by a referendum vote. So that would affect any school districts that are on the 2004. House Bill 422, which would increase the approval threshold. So the voter approval threshold required for the passage of certain property taxes dependent on the number of mills proposed. As the millage that's proposed goes up, the number of votes required to pass it goes up. So, again, these were all like literally just introduced, so they haven't been referred to committee yet. There's no testimony or hearings or anything. I just wanted to note them because I think it just illustrates the fact that we're going to continue to see this property tax reform initiative continue. So, with that said, the Property Tax Reform Working Group has been meeting weekly. That's the group that was formed by Governor DeWine after the passage of House Bill 96. So they recently heard testimony from the Fair School Funding Work Group. That was an invited testimony. They've been exploring both short-term relief and long-term solutions. Discussions have included some of the bills that are already out there right now that deal with property tax reform. One of the bills that's received a lot of discussion is House Bill 186. That bill proposes to authorize a property tax credit for the owners of property located in a school district on the 2004. The goal of that is to limit a district's total property tax revenue growth from the floor to the rate of inflation. They're still expected, I believe, to report their recommendations by the end of September. So I'm sure there's more to come on that. So I think, we'll continue to see property tax reform be the primary focus as we head into all of these fall sessions. A lot of the discussion seems to kind of, center around this 2004, what their, proposals to change what types of levies are included in that. There's proposals now, to just eliminate or reduce the unvoted tax increases due to inflation. So I think we're just going to continue to see movement on that. It's hard to anticipate what that's going to look like, but I think we'll probably see something. So anyway, that is it for me this month.
Okay. Good summary of what's going on, but yeah, it's all good. Be interesting. Okay, finance is myself and Mr. Falk. We met a couple months, I guess it was technically August
Yeah.
that we met, and nothing really to report out. The meeting was approved, the last meeting, to be shifted to a Monday to give Heather an extra 24 hours to click submit
Yep.
on the 5-year forecast, so she'll be presenting that to us at the next meeting.
Yes.
So anyways, that's really, Don, did you have anything else to add to that? That's really, we didn't really have. Okay. All right, moving into board members. Anybody have anything they want to share? Sure.
DLT report.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the
What
district,
is, yeah, DLT. What's that stand for?
district leadership team
Always
met,
acronyms.
right now, there's
Yeah,
tons of
that's-
DLT meetings.
I know.
They kind of like an
Yeah,
appendix.
we need like a
Right.
code,
You know what I
decode
was
it.
talking about. They met last Thursday. There were several new members of the group, so we spent some time just kind of refreshing and just realigning as a group. That Mark with the Mid-Ohio ESC went through, or I guess revisited or reviewed with us what the role of the DLT was, which was nice, especially for those of us that hadn't really heard that before. So I don't really have anything super specific to report on. All the buildings kind of reported out on I think just kind of where they're starting for the year and where they're heading, so, anyways, but it's a good meeting, so yeah.
How often does the DLT meet?
It's supposed to meet every month,
Monthly?
so yeah,
Okay,
typically that happens.
awesome. I would just add, I noticed on social media that, for the Cardington game, they are having, veterans, current military, and first responders get in free to the game on Friday night, so I thought that was pretty cool, and just wanted to share that out. I think that's neat. Good to see communities doing things like that, and this happens to be the night that we're gonna win on their football field, but it's fine, it's okay, right? No pressure, sorry for that pressure. And then just again, a shout out to the, all the representation that the school's FEA was set up at the Tomato Show on Friday for the 2-hour release. Lots of kids on floats. It's like, so many of our kids could be on multiple. It's like they probably have to flip a coin and what float am I on? Because I'm involved in multiple things. It was great to see our transportation department. The bus looked, really just looked beautiful. I'm sure that, there was some time spent shining the rims and all the things, but had some really smiling bus driver faces hanging out the windows, throwing candy at kids, which I think is just kind of fun, because anyways, just really appreciate the work that they do, and it was kind of cool just to see all of that. So I think that it was a huge success, and I love our presence as a school district with the Tomato Show. So Mr. Chapman, Mr. Caputo also, it's kind of ironic that we get to throw things back at the kids now, maybe, I don't know. FEA was passing out books, bus drivers were throwing candy, and Mr. Caputo and Mr. Chapman were throwing waters at the football team on the floats and stuff, so just take that for what it's worth. I don't know, Teresa, you guys are being kind, passing out, they were throwing things at students, but no. Lots of fun around that, so pretty cool. It was nice to have Danville's band in our parade, and then they stayed and enjoyed the Tomato Show, so I thought that was a really good gesture on Danville's part, so kudos to them. Okay, moving into, administration reports over here to the left, my left.
Before I start, I would like to acknowledge and express gratitude for my teachers and staff who put our students first and support one another. They spend the whole beginning of the school year teaching routines and expectations and taking time to set that tone for the school year. And they will reteach those routines and expectations often. Every time there's a long weekend, every time we have a school holiday. But those routines and expectations help everything run smoothly, and our teachers are always putting our students first at that. And one of those new routines and expectations that we've been working on is our new arrival and dismissal. And our safety team some members of our safety team met with a group of parents last week to hear their suggestions and feedback on the new arrival and dismissal procedures. And then our members that were present at that meeting will share that input with our entire safety committee, because we are in that revision and review process where we're wanting to make improvements to the procedures to make everything safer and smoother for everyone. So then after we've done that as a team, we'll invite that parent group back to get feedback from them as well. And just want to acknowledge that a lot of parents and grandparents have also been expressing appreciation or thankful for the changes because the parking lot had been scary to them in previous years. And then our second and third graders are attending YES performance concerts and programs this month at the computer.
Whoever, rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah, all right, middle school, really not a whole lot outside of what in the newsletter and stuff from last week. Teachers are, now we're like in the flow of the full academics and kind of back in the groove of, here we go. Doing a good job with that. The kids have been doing a good job. I think the sixth graders have adjusted for the most part to being in the middle school now. That can be a tough transition for some of them, you know, coming from the elementary. So they've done a good job with that. Like the elementary, we have a couple of Yes concerts coming up for 6th and 7th grade next week, I believe. Then like Mr. Bowman said, 8th grade will be heading down to Energy Field House there October 1st. They really enjoyed that trip 2 years ago when we went there, so I know the staff said it was done very well, and when I was there, it was a lot of good things for the kids to experience. So looking forward to getting them down there. This week has been the counselors, social workers work together for Suicide Awareness Week, so they've been different themed or dressed different days of the week for the kids for that, and then at lunches they've been out there. I know like yesterday they had bracelets, right? Today they had some different stickers. So just kind of getting that message out there. Then to go with that, Thursday night would be the volleyball game, volleyball awareness there. Base sale, there's just on a base sale. I know they were selling some t-shirts, should have some baskets and stuff there to help raise some money that'll stay in Knox County for that cause.
I saw 3 of your middle school teachers get in, well, one got in the bathtub, the other 2 pushed. So there may or may not have been pressure on the one telling everybody that he was a marathoner. I'm not gonna say who it was and who did the calling out,
Yeah.
but it was pretty fun to watch. I think there was 5 or 6 total, but there was that team, I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Probably after a week with middle schoolers, you need to be in a cold bathtub, I don't know.
Yeah, good for them. Right?
Yes, that was fun though.
All right, high school, yeah, I think the honeymoon period is coming to an end. Some violations are on a little bit of an uptick, we've had some of those in. Yeah, I think things are going well, other than what's in the newsletter and what was already shared. We're gonna take some kids to a leadership conference in early October, put on by Jostens, the Renaissance program. I've attended that before as a teacher. We took kids, I think it's gonna be good. So we're gonna try to get a group of 20 kids, 8th grade to juniors, and take those there. Tomorrow I'm going to be going to West Jefferson in the morning. I was invited, Focus 3 is putting on a R-Factor leadership workshop, and that one that we might, if we like it and think it would be applicable to us, that we can bring that here with our kids to do some type of leadership workshop as well. So looking at that, open canvas, passed out forms this week. I'll be looking over those towards the end of the week and getting those approved, so that'll start. Kids that went around to the Ready Focus period and explained the criteria, and they have been awaiting this, so they're anxious to get that going. And I think that's about it. I'd like to nominate or make a motion to nominate Mr. Chapman for bathtub race next year.
I know, I did hear.
Bathtub race.
Don't know what you're talking about.
There were a few teacher, I think, teams in that this year.
Yeah.
High school did, middle school had one, elementary had
Middle
one.
school and.
So let's figure out what we're doing in high school next year.
So, then you participated this year, or are you?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, okay, I didn't, okay.
I love this. This is fun. This is all on record too, right here on our website. It's fun. He did run the 5K, right?
That's-
Did you run the 5K?
It's finished.
Yeah, and finished the 5K. I love that. Oh, Mr. Caputo.
Sure. Well, as we get starting to gear into September here, finishing up our 16 days with the kids and trying to get a handle on things, I did share with you all more information, culmination of bits of information, specific really to some of what we're focusing on now is that kindergarten group. Okay? We do have an extraordinary amount of needs in that classroom, in that whole grade level. I do have, as I took some of these notes down, there's some nice positives out of there, but there's also a lot of work that's being done behind the scenes. A couple people I would like to call out on that though. One is Emily Sheriff. Not only every year do I ask her to make sure she puts emergency action plans in place for kids across the district, and then train new teams for those. We do have one student in kindergarten that was just recently had a medical issue that needed similar type plan, and it's outlined in here. I do have confidential notice on this as well, so I kind of just want to make sure I'm providing the rights and not violate any parents' rights as far as for and any other privacy rights. And also, I just want to make sure I point out that we are looking very closely to make sure we're providing free and appropriate public education for students' IEPs as we're working through these situations where we're providing for our kids. I do also want to call out Gina Sackman. She has been really good. She and I have been walking together as far as we communicate with parents. We can't develop relationships fast enough with parents. They've given us their best, and we're calling them to say there's some things we need to work on. Okay? So those conversations have been difficult conversations, but very fruitful to date. Okay? We have had some very good meetings. I want to thank Gina for kind of sitting in on those meetings and those phone calls and those conversations so that we can strategize and work with helping our students and our staff support kids. I will say that I'm a firm believer in making sure those relationships are developed and forged with all of our folks, in particular our parents. Over the years working in this specific part of education, I have found that back in the day we used to talk about a 4-inch compliance book was because of poor relationships. If we have those relationships built, parents are a lot more forgiving of and being able to work with us if that's the case. To date, I've been very specific with teachers and other administrators and myself as far as how we might approach situations. Again, this is the first time we're calling parents and say, hey, there's something wrong here, we need to make sure we get together. Third thing I just wanted to point out and share is we're at a point now where we are looking at resources not only in the district, but we're looking at resources outside of the district to help support the needs of our kids. We know, and you've sat around this table and we've had lots of resources that we've talked about that we currently employ and have or contract with, okay? Such as our OT and our PT and our speech and those types of things. We don't have a BCBA and an RBT, which we've heard about that before. Okay, I may be needing to look into some more of those resources to support our kids. I'm also needing to look into more resources to make sure we're providing for specifically some of the behavioral needs, but also in order to provide faith. As we're looking at our kids within special education, we do have to provide a free and appropriate public education, and I have to explore options as to where that might be. So I will be doing that in order to make sure we're taking care of our kids and making sure we have their needs met. It will take some time. I am really happy with the progress we've made so far. And again, I'm going to say one more time for Gina. She and I have just been a lot of conversations together, a lot of talking together, a lot of working with teachers and staff, and it's always, isn't it every day, something, a new challenge brought to us. So I want to thank her publicly for that. I encourage you all to read over this. It is not inclusive, but it does give you a capture of the highlights of what we're doing. Thank you.
Oh, only glasses here. We're gonna move over to the other side of the room. Mrs. Snyder.
We enjoyed participating in the tomato show. I want to thank you, Christine, for helping us get the footing in there, and really appreciative of Gail finding us a spot on the square. So
Yeah.
we're very visible, and thank you for so hopefully this was Andy, it was really windy
Yep.
that night. Okay,
Yep.
all right. So had a good location, we were next to the Charlie Neighbors Farm, passed out cigarettes that night. Was a little concerned that we may not be able to pass out our usual amount, being that we were there for a shorter number of days, but we still managed to pass out probably over 300 books, because I came home with 3 empty boxes. So I think we could fit about 75 to 100 books in a box. So anyway, we were very excited, have a lot of volunteers for the night. Teachers were excited to be part of the 2-hour release and be part of the festivities for them. Coming up, our very own Heather is going to be giving a little short info session. Some of our members expressed interest in just kind of like the highlights of our insurance. We have a lot of new hires or people that aren't extremely familiar with what our insurance covers. So Heather's going to come down and give a short blurb and just be there to answer questions. It's going to be 2 sessions, so she's accommodating the time slots, so we're very appreciative of that. And then we have an OEA presenter coming, I believe it's September 24th, to present on turning challenging behaviors into opportunities. So that is it.
Awesome. Sure. Nothing else, okay. No, it's okay. Okay. So that wraps up number 12, and we are gonna move into 13, which is our adjournment of this meeting. We'll take a few minutes and then we'll start the next. But if I could have a motion to adjourn? How about a second?
Second.
Okay. Second, Mr. Bowman.
Mr. Holt,
Yes.
Mr. Bowman,
Yes.
Mrs. Lindeman.
Yes.
Mr. Napier, Mrs. Wanger.
Yes.
Thank you.